So for t between 0 and 13, an object travels along the elliptical path given parametrically by x equals 3 cosine t, y equals 4 sine t. At the point at which the t is 13, the object leaves the path and travels along the line tangent to the path at that point. What is the slope of the line on which the object travels? So if you look at the first part of your print that have a summary of the lecture, I think your teacher's lecture note. If you look at it, that has formula of the parametric, differentiation. Okay, so that basically let me just change the color. Maybe I can stay with the red. So if you have derivative of y with respect to the x, you can actually decompose y and x with the t, because the t is parameter connect y and x, right? So, hold on. So dy or dx could be expressed with the dy over dt over dx over dt. You know this formula, right? So this is easy, pretty straightforward, because the x is already x and the y equations are already given in this problem. So dy over dt equals 4. So basically y is sine theta. I mean sine t actually. So you plug that, then that should be 4 cosine t, and dx over dt. Now x is 3 cosine t. Plug that into this formula. That is minus 3 sine t. So all you need is plug this two equation into this parametric derivative of y and x, right? Then that should be, oops, I should maybe take this up. Okay, so then the eyes keeps just moving around. Hold on. So, okay. So dy over dx should be 4. Oops, it's not responding at all. Hold on. Oops. Okay. Okay, so dy dx is minus 4 cosine t over minus 3 sine t. Now you want to find the value of dy dx, which is the slope of this the line, which is object travel. So the given t is 13. So you plug that, then that should be 4 cosine 13 over minus 3 sine 13. So that is same as this part is same as 1 of tangent 13. So the answer should be the 4 over 3 times 1 of tangent 13. That is easy problem to solve. So the answer might be number D. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Do you have any question? Probably not. It is an easy problem to solve. Next one, let's take a look at number 2. The position of the particle moving in the xy plane is given by the parametric equation. X is t cubic minus the 3 times t squared, then y is the t times, 2 times t cubed to the minus 3t squared minus 12t. So for what value of t is the particles are less? In order to solve this problem, you have to understand the meaning of the particle is at rest. The at rest means the velocity equals 0, which means your slope of that curve must be equal to 0. Okay, so velocity, hold on. So the velocity itself, d, which is dy over dx, is the velocity normally is defined by the velocity, and this must be 0 at the given point. Okay, so in order to solve this problem, that is actually velocity v. So you just add them, then that should be dy and dx is also could be expressed with a parametric derivative of t and dx over dt. So now you plug this y and x into this formula, just like the one you solved the previous problem. Then that should be dy over dt is 6t squared minus 6t minus 12. And dx over dt is 3t squared minus 6t. So now, if you rearrange it, then that should be 6t squared minus t minus 2 over 3t times t minus 2. And t squared minus t minus 2 could be re-expressed with the linear equation of t. So that is 6 times t plus 1 times t minus 2 over 3t times t minus 2. So t minus 2 exists in the numerator and denominator. They cancel each other. So that could be out of this answer. And that should be equals 0. So if there's two possible solutions for this one, in order to have this velocity, which is slope of line, equals 0, then obviously numerator must be equal 0, because if denominator equals 0, then what happened? The solution is undefined. So you don't want to just set up the denominator equals 0. So only like numerator must be 0 in order to have velocity of the particle at last. Okay, so if in order to have the particle at last, the numerator must be a 0, then that t should be, so that t plus 1 should be equal to 0, so that is t should be minus 1. So only minus 1 is possible solution for this. Okay? Right. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's move on. Number 3. Can you read this problem?
What?
Can you read this problem?
Like read it out loud?
Yeah, number 3. Do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Can you read this problem?
A curve C is defined by the parametric equations x equals t squared minus 4t plus 1 and y equals t cubed. And which of the following is the equation of the line tangent to the graph of C at the point -3, 8?
Okay. So the question is we have to define the equation of the line tangent to the graph of C. So basic formula to define the tangent line to the curve or graph of C is y equals, standard formula is y equals mx plus b. Here, m is slope of this tangent line, the line tangent to the graph of C. So m is same as dy over dx, and the b is the point that cross the vertical line, y-axis. So if you know one point on the curve, you should be able to find the value of b2. All right. So first step is to derive the formula of m, slope. And then next step is to plug this point -3-8 into this formula. Okay, then you should be able to find the b. Then you should be able to find that all the solution of tangent line to the graph of C. So first step, as I said, tangent is slope at x is minus 3 and y is 8. So the first step, you have to find out what x value and y value correspond to the t, that x value and the y value, so that x is what? T squared. We have to find out t value corresponding to the minus 3 of x, or the 8 of y. So that t squared minus 4t plus 1 should be same as minus 3. And y is t cubed, same as the 8, right? The first equation, x squared minus 4t, you move the minus 3 to the left-hand side, then that should be plus 1 minus 3. So that is x squared plus minus 4x. I'm sorry, that should be t. So the t squared minus 4t plus 4 equals 0. And so this one should be t minus 2 squared equals 0, right? And the second equation from the y, then same thing is the t cubed minus, you move the 8 to the left-hand side, then t cubed minus 8 is 0, right? So this one could be also re-expressed with the t minus 2 times t squared plus 4t plus 4 equals 0. So from that, there are two same t common value out of these two equations is t is equals 2. So if t is 2, then that make the x and y equation equals 0. So that t must be number 2, and we have to find the value of the tangent line when t is 2. Okay, so here dy, next step is to derive formula of the slope of tangent line to the graph C. So dy over dx is dy over dt divided by dx over dt. Same procedure. So now here, dy of dt. So now you have y equals t cubed. Then you plug that into this formula. Then that should be 3t squared, and the denominator is dx over dt. And you plug this x into this formula. Then that should be 2t minus 4. And now you have to find that value at t is 2. You plug that, and that is 3 times, let me move this one. Oops. This one out of here. So that the numerator is t times 2 squared, and numerator, and denominator 2 times 2 minus 4. So that is 12 minus 0. I mean that divide by 2. I mean divide by 0. Okay, 12. So the denominator is same as 0. So what happened if you divide finite number by 0?
It's undefined.
Yes, undefined. So in the case the slope is undefined, most likely that slope should be the vertical. So when you have some kind of curve, you put that, find that, if you specify the point on the curve, and you want to just find out the slope of that tangent line on that specific point of the curve. If the slope is diverse or undefined, that means your slope goes to infinity, because you find finite number by zero, that means that number is just goes to the infinity. So that means your slope is infinite number. That means that the tangent line actually is vertically aligned. So from that, the tangent line is vertical, meaning its slope is undefined. Since the tangent line is vertical, obviously you have you want to find out the curve at minus 3,8, right? So whatever point you choose at that point, so x and y, that point must be same as the tangent line. So you pick up the point and you have the vertical line as tangent curve. X must be minus 3 for vertical line. So that is the A. Answer is A. Because now that problems give you the point on the curve as minus 3 and 8. And as I said, the tangent line is vertically aligned. So the minus 3 should be the point crossing that tangent line. And that is the equation of the tangent line to the graph of C. Okay? Understand what I said?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Do you have any question so far?
Not really.
Okay, all right, good. Let's move on. The number 4, the particle moves so that its position at time t is given by two equations. X is t squared, y is sine 4t. What is speed of particle when t is 3? So, do you know the difference between the velocity and speed? I don't know if
Speed
you
is
take
always
yeah, go ahead.
speed is always positive, right?
Not. I mean, I'm asking the meaning of the speed and velocity in physics. Do you take that physics course too?
Nah.
Okay. So the velocity is the vector and speed is scalar. So it means the velocity only has amplitude, and the speed only has the amplitude, which is the number, and the velocity is vector, which has amplitude and the direction or orientation. So velocity could be, minus value or plus value, or it just comes with the directional component. But the speed only has absolute value. So basically, hold on. The velocity, let me give you the definition. So that velocity normally given by this notation. So that arrow on top of the symbol indicating that variable is a scalar quantity. So that this velocity is expressed with the dx over dt I plus dy over dt j. So normally velocity of object moving in the 2 or 3 dimensional space consists of 2 or 3 elements or components, x, y, z direction. Okay, so this is normally called the velocity, but speed is magnitude of velocity. So if you take absolute value of this velocity, that is same as the speed. So if you re-express the speed of the velocity, then that is square root of dx over dt squared plus dy over dt squared. That's a definition. It's like you may want to just probably memorize this definition. So that's difference between the speed and velocity. So velocity could be the minus sign in the x direction, could be plus sign, y direction. But speed should be always, as you said, the positive number because it's only indicating that the absolute value, amplitude of the velocity. So next step, what we have to do, the plug slope in x direction in time and the slope in y direction in time from this formula, right? That's pretty straightforward. So from that, dx over dt is what?
2t, just 2t.
Yes, 2t, and the dy over dt is
4 cos t, or 4 cos 4t.
4 cosine 4t, right? So all you need, plug this one into this formula. That's it. So the speed is square root first 4 cosine 4t square plus 2t square. Now you want to find the speed of the particle when t is 3. So you got to plug 3 into the t. So you plug that into this formula, and that should be square root 4 cosine what? 12 square, and this one should be 6 square, which is 36. So the answer is what? Number C. Okay. It's so far so good. Everything in this problem up to the 4 is pretty straightforward. All you need is like calculate time variation of t in x direction and y direction. That's it. And then you just divide dy of dt by dx of dt. That's straightforward. And nothing complex, nothing, chaos. Okay, so next one, number 5. Now we move, it looks like from number 5, topic is changed to the polar coordinate, right? So can you read number 5?
Which of the following integrals represents the area shaded in the graph shown at right? The curve is given by r equals 4 sine 2 theta.
Okay, so this is the the graph or curve of ribbon shape in polar coordinate, which is r is 4 sine 2 theta. So normally the area definition of area in the polar coordinate is given by specific formula, specific equation. So do you remember that aerial equation of the curve in polar coordinate?
Yay.
Okay, good. So what is that?
I think it's like 1/2, and it's like an integral, and like the bounds are the radian angles you want to start from.
Mm-hmm.
And then inside the integral is the r function, like squared.
Okay. Yeah, you're correct. So basically, this is definition of area in polar coordinate. Any shape of curve should be defined by this equation in the way to drive formula of the area. Okay. So here r prime beta is given by this relationship. So here beta minus r pi should be between 0 and 2 pi. You don't want to go beyond the 2 pi. Then what happens is if you go more than 100, 2 pi 360 degree, then you start integrate same area and kind of duplicate integral the same area. So you don't want to go beyond 2 pi. Okay, so that's a typical definition. So now same thing, you just need to plug this function. So here r is same as f theta, which is function of theta. So you plug into this r into this formula, which is f theta. So now that is 1/2 from alpha to beta, and the 4 sine 2 theta over square d theta, right? So here, basically your integral area is from 3 pi over 2 to the 2 pi. That is what the shaded area located, right, in this quadrature space. But that is effectively same as you integrate this area from 0 to the pi over 2. Am I right? Or same as this area, pi over 2 to the pi. The same, like pi to the 3 pi over 2. So it doesn't matter where you actually integrate because these four leaves they're identical to each other. So you can pick and choose the area range of this integral, but the more important part is this one. That is 1 over 2 from maybe pi over 2 to the pi, and this one is 16 sine square 2 theta and d theta. So I choose, because now in the given multi-choices equation, you have to stay with the options you provided in the problem, right? So none of the problems actually have the this area with this expression. So if you plug 1 over 2 into this bracket, then that should be. So let me just rewrite it. This one originally the 3 pi over 2 to the 2 pi, and that is 8 times sine square 2 theta over d theta. That is the answer, but this is effectively same as any quadrature area from 0 to the pi over 2 or pi over 2 to the pi. So what number has same form of 8 times sine square 2 theta in these choices? Which one?
B.
Yeah, number B. Only B has this form. Okay? So the B is the answer. All right? That's pretty straightforward. You have to just find the correct form inside the integral, and the choice of the range of the integral is second, because, well, just as long as the integral range is same as 3 pi over 2 to the 2 pi, it doesn't matter because they're giving you the same answer. All right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any question?
Not really.
Okay, let's move on then. Number 6, which of the following integral represents the arc length of the polar function? R is 1 plus cosine theta from the 0 to the pi. So hopefully you remember the equation of arc length of the polar curve too. So S, the arc length of any type of the polar curve, this is like X and Y, but it's defined by also like R and theta. So if you have the polar curve, and that is defined by theta 1 to the theta 2 and R1 to the R2, then how the length of this arc is defined? What is the equation of arc length? Do you remember?
Not really.
Okay, then you have to jot down. I'm giving you the formula for that, so you can memorize it. It's very simple question. I mean, a simple equation, and all you need is to plug the number or R equation into this formula. So the arc length of the polar curve is integral of this equation, square root of the f theta square plus derivative of f theta square from alpha to the beta. So any type of, so here is f theta is normally same as r, because r is also function of theta, okay? So if you memorize this equation, all we need just to take the derivative of this r function and plug that into this equation. So here, f, so that, and then that is could be also re-expressed by this formula, the same as integral of square root r squared plus dr of d theta square d theta. Okay, I just recommend the user to memorize this formula. So now all you need to plug this r into this formula. R is 1 plus cosine theta. So dr over d theta is minus sine theta, right? So let's plug that into this formula. One is r, the other one is dr over d theta. So then the equation itself should be square root alpha and beta, square root of the 1 plus cosine theta square plus minus sine theta square d theta. Okay. So integral range already provided by this problem. Theta should be between the 0 and pi. So alpha it should be the 0 and the beta should be pi. That's easy. So from that, which one do you think is answer for this question?
A.
Okay, 8. And now, if you want, you can actually further simplify this equation by fully express this 1 plus cosine theta and the minus sine theta out of the square. So if you continue, then that should be 1 plus 2 cosine theta plus cosine squared theta and plus minus sine theta squared is same as sine theta squared. So inside the square root, that equation is simplified into this format, right? So here, what is the cosine square plus sine square?
1.
That's 1, right? So you plug that, that is this one, 1 and 1, that is same as 2, so that should be 2 plus 2 cosine theta, so that is 2 times 1 plus cosine theta. You plug back into this formula, then that is same as 1, of square root 2 times 1 plus cosine theta, d theta from 0 to pi. That is another expression of the solution answer. Okay. Right. Any question?
Not really.
Okay. All right. That's good. So far, so good. All right. We have 6 more problems to cover, so let's just quickly move on. Number 7. Consider graph of the vector function rt, 1 plus t cubed and 3 plus 4t. So this is displacement or position vector. Okay. Now, what is value of d square y over dx squared at the point on the graph where the x is 2? So this is position vector in physics, r, and it asks you to find out acceleration, the derivative, second order derivative of y in x. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to find out that dx over dt and the dy over dt. So this 1 plus t cubed is x, and the 3 plus 4t is y. So from that, let's see, dx over dt, I mean the x is 1 plus t cubed, and the y is 3 plus 4t. And from that, dx over dt is, oh, that's number 7, right? Okay, I gotta just take a look. Oh, number 7, right? So, yeah. So dx over dt is 3t squared, and then dy over dt is 4. So from this, d2, I mean, this d squared y over dx squared is same as the d over dx, dy over dx, right? And this one could be re-expressed with d over dy over dt over dx over dt over dt divided by dx over dt. Okay, so we gotta go one by one. So that's the numerator is d over dt times 4 over 3t squared, right? So that is same as what? 4 over 3 d over dt and t minus 2. And then this one, same as minus 8 over 3 t to the power of 3 minus 3. Okay, so that is what? Numerator of this part. And second, we have to find out the denominator. Denominator is pretty straightforward. 3t squared. So